Hi everybody, welcome back to 779 Organic Master Gardening. Now in front of us here we have a piece of wood, and this piece of wood is approximately 150mm, I say wide, but it's high, isn't it, because I've got it on its edge, 6 inches approximately. That is the height that the carrot root fly flies at. That's its altitude. It's also a perfect spacing to grow carrots, and that's my plan for today. Is going to sow some carrots. Now the thing is, the reason why I'm showing you that is because obviously the height of that pest, we don't want it anything above that, and it won't go higher than that 6 inches or 150mm. As I'm talking to you, I'm just making a slight drill. The reason why I'm showing you that is because look, some people, there's two ways to stop carrot root fly. You can either do what I've just shown you there and create a barrier that's 6 inches high or above, and it won't fly over that, so it stops them coming into your carrots and eating all the young leaves and then laying its eggs to then burrow into your roots, obviously your carrots, and that's not what we want. And another way of doing it is the fly actually picks up the scent of the carrots themselves. And when you sow carrots, I mean, the seeds are so small, as I'm showing here, that it's impossible to sow them individually, so you do end up having to thin them out. And when you do that, it releases the smell of the carrot, and in come the flies. So the other way to stop it or deter them is to plant them next to onions. And to my right, I've got a member of the onion family, which is a great big block of the garlics. So that's another deterrent. Companion planting, marigolds is another one. But in my case, I don't suffer from carrot root fly here. We're in Hungary, just as a reminder. But I do like to plant them next to the garlics, because just in case. Like I say, I've never experienced it. Anyway, so I've made a drill using my trusty little dibber thingy. I'll drop the seeds in, and I'm just pushing the soil back over nice and gently. Now, this is one of the no-dig beds that I've made, and I treat them exactly the same way when I'm about to sow something as I do with module trays. In other words, I give it a very good drink and a good soaking, just to make sure it's got plenty of moisture. Now I've popped those two pegs in there for a reason, and the reason is I want to push that board across, do the other side, because it's not quite long enough. Blokes and their measurements, huh? I'll come round to the other side. I'll do the other part. Now another thing people do, not so much with carrots, they'll germinate within 2 to 3 weeks, so you know where they are. But being a no-dig bed, I'm not expecting to be seeing a lot of weed growth in here. There will be some, because if you recall, I've actually put a thick layer of well-rotted horse manure down, so I will get some seeds germinating from the grass seeds that are in there, or some weeds rather, from the grass seeds that are in there. But if I have a line of carrots, it will be easier to keep the weeds, and any weeds that I do get, under control. But I obviously need to know where they're going to be, and that's the reason we're putting these old cut off pieces of electrical wire left over from the renovations of the house. Cockerel's in good voice, isn't he? Now, there we go. Now look, I'm approximately 3 weeks ahead of everybody in the UK. What I'm going to do here now is just tip him over to there. I know where I am, and that will be my next line. Just drill that in. Pop in the next load of seeds. Yeah, so I'm about 3 weeks ahead of the UK at the minute. Looking at the forecast in the UK, there seems to be an awful lot of cloud, quite a bit of rain coming into the April showers season, I'm guessing. And so yeah, I'm 3 weeks ahead. So the temperatures I need for the soil are between 2 and 5 degrees Celsius. And I'm going to be planting parsnips in here as well. So it's an ideal soil temperature. So I'll crack on with this. Come back to me in a minute and I'll show you what I do with the parsnips, which is basically a very similar thing. So I need to go and get some more of my little cables, pegs, markers, whatever you want to call them, so I know where these carrots are going to be. And join me in a second when I finish them all. There's going to be quite a lot. Okay, so I'm just coming in now to do the last two bits of the drill, if you want. And we're just literally just sprinkling them in. This isn't a job to do when you've got a bit of a breeze, and I have always got some kind of a breeze here because we're quite exposed. You don't lose a whole line of the seeds, obviously, but you do get a few strays or a few rogue carrots appear where you may not have expected them to be. But there you go, they are all in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows that are about 1.5 meters wide. And when they germinate, yeah, I'm going to need to thin them. Now what I want to do is I shall continue this for the rest of the morning, go all the way through. So that just gives you a bit of an idea. I mean, this is quite a long bed. I'm looking at this now, but it's not too bad. But as I say, it's next to the garlic, so let's just turn ourselves around and show you these guys and how they're getting on. And as you can see, they've been in here since, well, they've certainly been in here for the whole of the winter period. They don't mind the cold, and they're going on very, very well. And as I've said, I planted this side up with some onions, but I did that 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and they've started to come through, but they won't be as big as the other onions I've got over this side here. And as you can see, they've also been in, they went in the same time as the garlic, so they've been in here over the winter, looking quite healthy. You know, we've had -8s on occasions here, a little bit of snow, not huge amounts, but they don't seem to have minded that whatsoever. And like I say, the fragrance that you might get off these two beds here certainly will go in that direction towards that bed there where I've started putting in the carrots. So I shall crack on with that, and I'll catch up with you in a bit when I'm on to my next project for the day.